waiting all day here for you, babe. So won't you come and sit and talk to me and tell me how we're gonna be together always. Hope you know that when it's late at night, I hold on to my pillow tight and think of how you promised me forever. I never thought that anyone could make me feel this way. Now that you're here, boy, all I want is just a chance to say, get out right now. It's the end of you and me. It's too late and I can't wait for you to be gone. Cause I know I found her and I want her. How about all the lies to say that you could treat me right, but you was just a waste of time. Tell me why you're looking so confused when I'm the one who didn't know the truth. How could you ever be so cold? To go by my back and call my friend. Boy, you must have bummed and bumped your head because you left her number on your phone. So now after all is said and done, maybe I'm the one to blame. Oh, do you think that you could be the one? Well, it didn't work out that way. Get out right now. It's the end of you and me. It's too late and I can't wait for you to be gone. Cause I know I found her and I want her. How about all the lies to say that you could treat me right, but you was just a waste of time. I wanted you right here with me, but I have no choice, you gotta leave. Because my heart is breaking with every word I'm saying. I gave up everything I had on something that just wouldn't last. But I refuse to cry, no tears won't fall from these eyes. Oh, oh. Get out right now. It's the end of you and me. It's too late and I can't wait for you to be gone. Cause I know I found her and I want her. How about all the lies to say that you could treat me right, but you was just a waste of time. Oh, get out right now. It's the end of you and me. It's too late and I can't wait for you to be gone. Cause I know I found her and I want her. How about all the lies to say that you could treat me right, but you was just a waste of time. Oh, get out, you and me. It's too late, too late. You found her to say that you could treat me right, but you was just a waste of time.
Good afternoon, good evening everybody, and welcome to the Point Blank Virtual Online Open Day. My name is Luke and I'm your course advisor here at Point Blank Music School. I'm delighted to have you join us. Today is an opportunity for you to find out about Point Blank's online courses and find out if Point Blank is the place for you to come and study. Now we've got a great online open day in store for you today. I'm going to be going through a bit more information about all of our courses and how the online courses work here when you decide to come and study with us. We've also got one of our expert lecturers, John Davies, who's going to be joining us a little later on and going through an exclusive masterclass showing you how to produce a track. And following that, we're going to be doing a live Q&A at the end of today's open day, answering your questions. So make sure you get your questions in the chat room. Myself, my colleague John, we're going to be answering any questions you have at the end of today's session. So pop those in the chat room just to the right hand side of the screen. And yeah, we'll be more than happy to help. Now moving forward, I wanted to start off by kind of let you know a little bit about our story and how we got formed as a music school. Point Blank's been around now for over 30 years. We were established back in 1994, originally actually as a recording studio here in London where I'm based today. We're really fortunate that over the years we've won many awards and accolades. Most recently, we're super proud of having been awarded a TEF Gold Award for teaching excellence. And since we started off as a recording studio, we're now offering higher education and short courses, and I'll be going through more information about all of those very shortly. Remember, when you study at Point Blank, it is a global student community. You can study from absolutely anywhere in the world. As long as you have a computer, some software, and an internet connection, you can study our courses from all four corners of the globe. We've got our campus here in London, where I'm based today, but we also have campuses in Los Angeles. We have one in Ibiza, where we teach courses over the summer, and obviously our online school, which we're all here today to find out more about. When you join us at Point Blank, it's a very student-centered approach. Now, what that means is it's more than just the course. It's about helping you learn, upskill, and become the future of the music industry. Use everything you've learned throughout the course to help you become the future of the music industry. Moving on from this, I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about our industry partnerships. Now, you might be familiar with some of the brands and companies up on the screen here. Now, Ableton, for instance, Focusrite, Roland, Pioneer DJ, Native Instruments, kit out our studios and provide us with, the latest industry software that music producers use day in and day out to make music in the music industry. And we want our students to be working with exactly the same type of equipment. That means when you finish your course, when you graduate, you're working with the same stuff that the pros are working with in the music industry. And that means you can hit the ground running when looking for opportunities, jobs, part-time jobs, work experience, etc. We want you to be ready and to get going as soon as you graduate for real in the music industry. We also offer loads of great discounts through these partnerships. So if you'd like any more information about that, let us know in the chat room or get in touch with our student services team, who'll be happy to help and give you more information. Now, moving on from this, one of the things that we offer here at Point Blank are our degree level programs. So we offer one online degree, which is a Bachelor of Arts honours degree in music production and sound engineering. We also offer a Cert HE in music production and sound engineering. That Cert HE is equivalent to the first year of that same Bachelor of Arts honours degree. So you could either study 1 year if you wanted to, or the full 3-year BA degree. Both of these courses are validated by Middlesex University. So Point Blank, partners of Middlesex, they quality assure and they accredit all of our courses. However, everything is designed and it's delivered here at Point Blank by our expert lecturers. Unlike other universities where you might usually just have the one start date per year in September, we actually have 2 start dates per year. They would be in September and in April every year. We are accepting applications for this coming date in September, but also for April. So if you'd like to apply for one of our degrees, you can apply for either start date. Just get your application in as soon as you're ready. Moving on from that, if you are interested in studying our short courses, we offer a variety of different programs. So these cover music production and sound engineering, DJing, and music business. Unlike the degrees, we have much more frequent start dates. These actually start every 3 months on a quarterly basis. And because you've attended our online open day and you've made the effort to watch me tell you more about our courses, but we'd like to offer you a very exclusive special discount, and that's only to students who've attended the open day. You can use the code ON20% to save 20% on your course. So make sure you use that code as ON20% ON20% to make that saving. Hopefully that helps a little bit along the way. Now, a question we get asked all the time, and I'm sure some of these questions have been coming in the chat room as well. How do the online courses work? So let's look at the study modes to start with. We offer full or part-time courses. If you're going to be studying full-time, typically we recommend you invest around 20 hours per week. That means you're going to be studying 2 modules concurrently each term. Or if you're studying part-time, then you're going to be studying 1 module each term, so modules taking place on a consecutive basis. And typically we recommend you invest around 10 hours per week to make the most of the course. One of the great things about studying online, obviously, is that you can study from anywhere in the world. And what that means is that it offers flexible learning. You have access to your course 24/7. So basically, you can log on wherever you might be at whatever time you want and go through the materials and basically, start learning and start applying what you've been learning into your own projects, making music and improving your production or DJing or sound engineering abilities. Again, one of the best things about studying with us at Point Blank Online is the remoteness. You can study from anywhere, and we have students from all over the world, all four corners of the globe, joining us. Do please join one of our courses too. We can't wait to see you on a course in the very near future. Now, another question we get asked a lot about is about fees and funding. So, if you're looking to do a degree program, and you are a UK-based citizen, so the United Kingdom, where I'm based currently, then you could apply for a full student loan tuition fee loan, basically. So they'll cover the full course fees to help you with your learning. However, if you are an international student, then you will need to pay the course fees privately. We also offer annual and termly instalments to help you cover those fees. If you're looking at doing some of our short courses, there are no tuition loans available for those whether you're a UK student or an international student. However, as it says on the screen, we offer termly and monthly instalment plans. And the discount that I offered you earlier on, well, that applies to any payment plans too. So you can also save through that discount on instalment plans as well. Not too bad. Now, student life at Point Blank. What does this look like? Well, when you're a student online, each week you're going to have a 2-hour masterclass session with your lecturer. That's a live session where your teacher is going to be going through the course curriculum and syllabus. They're going to be demonstrating production techniques. They're going to be answering your questions. They're going to be taking you through all of the content on that course. As part of the program and through the VLE and dashboard, you'll have access to extensive course notes, audio files, downloadable templates, projects, samples, tutorial videos. You'll be able to see your assignments, exercises, and you can upload your coursework as well to this portal for it to be assessed by your teacher. Now, one of the things you'll also receive when studying our short courses are 2 direct video responses, or DVRs. Now, these are really valuable feedback pieces that you get to keep and review as many times as you like. And it's the lecturer going through your coursework and project work and essentially kind of going through everything and helping you improve, work on your strengths, your weaknesses, ensuring that you're applying what they are saying into your project and coursework moving forward, and ultimately improving as a music producer or a DJ or in the music business or as a sound engineer. We want to give you that all-important feedback that's so important when you're learning and trying to improve. Right, so next up I wanted to share a video with you which kind of goes into a bit more information about everything I've just talked about. So how the DVRs work, how the masterclasses function, and who the online school might be for. So check this out and I'll see you in a couple of minutes.
Whether you're an aspiring DJ, producer, sound designer, working a 9-to-5 job, or music industry professional, Point Blank's online courses are designed to help you master your craft at your pace, on your schedule, from anywhere in the world. You choose when you want to do it. In this video, we'll take you inside our online learning experience, how it works, and what makes Point Blank's approach truly stand out. Throughout the course, you'll receive 2 DVRs, which stands for Direct Video Response, and is basically tailored feedback on your work. To have that kind of interactivity and to have someone feeding back on your work is just gold dust. The response that the lecturer gives is completely tailored to the student's style of music. So throughout the degree, you'll receive up to 5 tutorials in each module. These are one-to-ones with your lecturer and are designed to support you with your coursework, help to keep you on track and ensure that you have the best possible experience. I've had students in Australia, Japan, America, anywhere in Europe. You can really study anywhere in the world.
One of the best parts about studying online is being able to take my learning anywhere. Even when I'm on the move, I can keep up with lessons at my own pace. Since I've got my laptop, I can apply what I'm learning straight away. I can still get feedback from tutors and connect with other producers, no matter where I am. The flexibility makes it easy to stay consistent and keep improving.
Every lecturer here is an industry professional. You're learning from people who've released records, toured the world, scored films, worked in high-end studios. That's really what gives our teaching its edge.
Those who can't get to London or one of the other campuses for whatever reason, mobility reasons, financial, whatever the case may be, you can do it right from where you are and still get the same point blank experience. It's the same lecturers that teach at the campuses, so you're not going to be short on any of the knowledge or experience from those lecturers.
Our online platform connects you with professional lecturers, personalised feedback and a global community of aspiring artists and producers, where world-class music education meets the flexibility of online learning. Our commitment to excellence has been recognised with a TEF Gold rating for teaching quality, one of the highest distinctions in UK higher education. Part of the skill of our lecturers is to adapt to different levels of ability. There are some students who really are quite advanced and others who come in at a basic level, so it's amazing to see how well they progress.
They're DJs, they're singers, they're producers, they're sound engineers, like just different people from different kind of walks of life and what they want to achieve in music. And yeah, I definitely found that we could collaborate.
I've got some students who put their kids to bed and then they start going through the content at night. I've got some students who are, going through it at 5 in the morning, midday. So the online course offers a lot of flexibility for students to basically learn where they want and when they want.
So everything's built around our virtual learning environment, or VLE. That's where you'll access your course materials, submit assignments, watch recordings of your sessions, download bonus content and connect with your classmates. It's really the heart of your learning experience.
Alongside your regular weekly masterclasses, we also offer one-off masterclasses, and we cover topics such as artist identity, marketing 101, branding, exploring sound design, and looking at features in Ableton and Logic Pro.
We hope this video has given you a bit of an insight on what it's like to study here at Point Blank Music School. If you want to find out more, check out pointblankmusicschool.com.
Cool. Well, I hope you've enjoyed that and it's given you a bit more of an insight into how the online courses work. But remember, if you do have any questions about that, that's what the chat room's for. That's what the Q&A is about at the end of today's open day. So pop your questions in the chat room. We'll be answering those a little later on. Now, next up, I wanted to talk to you about something that's really important to us, and that's the Point Blank ecosystem. We like to see Point Blank as an environment in which students are able to learn and grow, make mistakes, learn from those mistakes and improve in whichever discipline they're looking to get involved with and are looking to forge careers in. So if you take a look at this kind of graph on the screen, you're at the center of the ecosystem. And when you come and join Point Blank, you get to meet loads of other like-minded individuals who are also trying to make it in the music industry. So there might be other artists, sound engineers, there might be music software engineers, there might be music producers, sound designers, remixers, composers, managers, radio broadcasters, singers, DJs, record label owners. There's lots of moving parts in the music industry, and everyone has something unique to offer that can help you kind of, forge your career and path in the right direction. And so one of the things that's super important when working in the music industry and getting started in the music industry is the importance of networking and collaborating and sharing your passion for music with as many people as you can. And through that networking and through those collaborative opportunities, you'll find work. You'll find work experience, you'll find jobs, and you'll start getting access to opportunities that can help you get started in your careers. So when you're studying with us, whether you're studying online or anywhere else in the world, you have access to this ecosystem. Now, let's have a little look at how we engage our students into careers and through the opportunities that we offer. And I think a good kind of way of getting started and looking at that is looking at the global music industry. Now, it's worth nearly $30 billion worldwide. In the UK, where we're based, it's worth nearly £7 billion alone. Point Blank has a global student community We have 4 campuses around the world, 50,000 plus alumni and students with over 2 million followers through all of our social channels. And we want to help you reach that audience so that you can start making connections and contacts and start building that all-important network that will kind of allow you to get access to opportunities thereafter. If we look at music in the UK alone, it's the 3rd largest music market in the world, behind the USA and Japan. It's sustaining over 200,000 jobs, over 210,000 jobs in fact. And for us, what's important is it's about helping you get your foot in the door, helping connect you to the industry and helping you achieve the goals you've set out when you start one of our courses. So again, any questions about that, get those in the chat room. We'll be answering them later on. So one of the things we like to offer is personal career guidance. We actually have a careers officer on site here at Point Blank, but as an online student, you can book sessions with them. And they're here to help you kind of, get your CV in order, give you tips for interviews and applications, and connect you to full-time jobs, work experience, or internship opportunities through our partners. Some of our students, in fact many of our students, have gone on to work at major record labels like Sony Music, Warner, Universal, Defected, or DJ, in some of the biggest clubs in London like Fabric or Ministry of Sound. So we've got loads of great connections that we're always looking to get you involved with so you can get a head start in the music industry. Another thing that we love to do here at Point Blank, online as well, is industry masterclasses. We want to bring the industry to you wherever you might be in the world. So that's masterclasses with artists and industry experts. Previously, in the past, we've done masterclasses with groups like Rudimental, with artists like Dennis Salter, Jonas Blue, Nile Rodgers, Carl Cox, Basement Jaxx, Armin van Buuren. I mean, the list goes on. And these masterclasses happen regularly. So we'll let you know about them. You can log online, you can be part of that masterclass, and you can have your questions answered by industry experts and artists that have been there, have done it, and are here to transfer their wealth of knowledge and experience over to you. Moving on from that, we do a lot of events and showcases. So even if you're online, we do events and showcases online. If maybe you're in the United Kingdom and you're near London, you can come and participate in events and showcases here at Point Blank or around London. And if you want to get involved with events wherever you might be in the world, let us know about that. We can, maybe help promote your event and reach a wider audience as well. Another thing I wanted to talk to you about that's super exciting for us is our in-house record label. This is Point Blank Recordings. And Point Blank Recordings essentially is on the lookout to help develop and promote Point Blank Music School student talent. So we do that through artist and repertoire, artist development, marketing, publishing budgets, and connecting you to industry legends. So there's opportunities for you to collaborate and work with people who have been there and already done it in the music industry. Previously in the past, we've had students work with artists like Kathy Sledge, Kim Mizell, and Ultranate, and had those tracks signed by major labels thereafter. So the record label can be a great stepping stone and kind of way for you to get involved in the music industry, get your first record deal, and then start being noticed by a wider audience in the music industry. So get your demos in when you're a student. We'd love to hear them, and you never know, maybe we'll sign you to the record label. Now, next up, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about, or share a video with you about our student testimonials. We think it's really important for you to hear from our students. So we've got a collection of students that have studied our online courses, and well, you can hear for yourselves what they thought. So check this out.
Hi guys, this is Smokey. I'm a singer, songwriter, future music producer, currently studying the online Search HE program at Point Blank on music production and sound engineering, and I'm absolutely loving it. I particularly like the virtual learning environment a lot because I can take my course whatever time suits me best. Plus, since it's all on video, I can always go back, re-watch something if I miss some information, which is very useful. So I feel like Point Blank is really helping me stay focused, structure my career better, and just be more creative in general. So thank you guys.
Hey everyone, I'm Jared Boylatad. I'm a music producer and aspiring sound engineer. I'm taking the BA Honors Music Production and Sound Engineering degree at Point Blank Music School online. I've had an amazing experience studying with Point Blank. I love the way the lessons are taught, especially when using the VLE. It's very intuitive and the modules are well organized. I get to have plenty of one-to-one sessions and master classes with my teachers where I can get personal attention and really hone my skills to the professional level.
It's your big dog Sheldon Curl, and I'm enrolled up in a Master Diploma program at Point Blank Music School online. And what I like about Point Blank Music School is everything is practical to today's music. All the hits, the music theory, everything that we study, everything that we go through, everything we learn how to program, everything is relevant to today's music. And that what makes Point Blank so awesome. Have a good one.
Now there is one last thing I'd like to share with you. There is only really one way that we would like to be judged as a music school, and that's through our successes. Ultimately, you being successful and our students being successful and making it into the music industry and becoming the future of the music industry means that we have been successful as music educators. And we've been really fortunate that in the 30+ years we've been around, we've had many students come through our doors, study courses just like the ones you're thinking of studying, and have gone on to achieve great things in the music industry. So I've got one last video I'd like to share with you, highlighting some of the successes that we've been fortunate enough to have here at Point Blank. So take a look at this. Hope you enjoy it.
Everybody feel it come around with the rhythm, it's a sound. Every feel it come around with round. Everybody feel it come around with the rhythm, it's a sound. Everybody get down when we give it to you.
Everybody feel it come around with round. Everybody feel it come around with round. Everybody feel it come around with round. Oh
yeah! Everybody in the front. Everybody in the front. Everybody in the front. Everybody in the front.
Awesome. Well, look, I hope you've enjoyed that and it's given you a bit more of an insight into how Point Blank works, what you can expect the courses to be like. As always, if you do have any questions for us, remember, pop those in the chat room. We're going to be answering those at the end of today's open day. So get them in, and yeah, we look forward to answering them a little later on. But now it's time for me to introduce you to and pass you over into the very capable hands of John Davies, one of our expert lecturers here at Point Blank. John is going to be telling us a little bit more about his experience in the music industry, what he teaches here at Point Blank, and he's actually got an exclusive masterclass for you. So I hope you enjoy it. John, it's over to you.
Thanks very much, Luke. My name's John Davis and I've been a lecturer here at Point Blank for almost 10 years now, teaching composition, advanced composition, songwriting and mixing. So a little bit about me. I've been writing music for about 25 years and working professionally in the music industry as a bass player and composer, producer and musical director for almost 2 decades now. So I studied classical music at university and then went on to work as a producer and songwriter for about 5 years, basically working with as many different artists as I could find to work with. And I developed a relationship with one artist who was really talented, ended up also MDing his band in which I played bass and keyboards. And his debut EP came out and it did very well, so he ended up getting a major record label deal. And I worked on his album project for a couple of years. And then after that project finished, I worked as a mixer and musical director for various other artists until I took the job at Point Blank Music School. One of the things I love teaching at Point Blank is the variation and sheer range of different students who I might teach on a given day. So one thing that a lot of students ask me is, you know, if I had one tip, what would it be? What's one thing I wish I'd been told back when I was starting on my music production journey? And I'm actually going to share 2 with you. So one tip I was actually given by someone who's now head of A&R at a big record label, and his advice when I first started on my first week in the music industry, he said, get to know your generation. The second piece of advice that I wish I'd been given is not to worry too much about perfecting one song, but make as much music as you can, finish as much music as you can, because then you can learn from your mistakes, and every track you make, you'll either do something cool or you'll make a mistake and you can learn from that in the next track and not have to worry about ruining 3 months of work. So one of my favorite things to do at Point Blank, in addition to my lecturing, is running these creative challenges that we have every term. I do a composition challenge and also a sample challenge, and that's what I'd like to show you today. This is a track that I actually made during one of our Point Blank sample challenge events. So for that term, I was feeling a little bit uninspired. I couldn't really find an interesting sample to record. So what I actually did was I recorded myself saying the text on the sample challenge event.
Join us for a sample challenge.
Which sounds a little bit like that. And so for that event, students could take this audio recording of me.
Chop, splice, granulate, loop, reverse, shift.
Talking about the sample challenge event. Now, when you do a sample challenge here at Point Blank, you've got 2 options. Option 1 is you can make a track featuring some of this audio at any point. But if you want a slightly harder workout, option 2, we like to call the Sensei Challenge. And that involves making an entire track of nothing but this audio. So I decided to set myself a ludicrous challenge of making an entire track just using the words
no limitations.
And I'd like to show you how I went about doing that right now. So the first thing I did, of course, was chop this little bit of audio. I'm just going to get rid of that track now, we don't need it. And I dragged that audio into Ableton's sampler, and that meant that I could play it. Oh, let me just...
No
there you go.
Limitations.
Using my keyboard, or actually QWERTY keyboard, which is what I'm using now.
No limitation.
No limitations.
And as you can see, I can play it back at different pitches, at different speeds. So sometimes I like to start my tracks with a chord progression, but for some reason I started this track with a kick drum, and so I'm going to show you how I roughly went about making a kick drum from this audio. The first thing that I did was I started this sample halfway through that word to get that sort of little clicky punch type of sound. There we go. And then what I did was I went here to the pitch, and I basically got the pitch of this sound to increase and decrease very quickly like this. And I think I went with about 7 semitones, something like that, just to get a little bit more punch. Then I added this filter And actually, I think I was playing this back at that very low pitch to get that boomy kick drum. There we go. And because that's kind of cut off all the high frequencies and muffled it, I wanted to add some of that back, so I added a load of distortion. In fact, if in doubt, if a sound sounds a little bit rubbish and weedy, add distortion is a pretty good start. There we go, so that sounds a little bit more impressive, and I think I even added this crazy amount of distortion. Okay, now that sounds a little bit too long for a kick drum, so I shortened it like so, and then again to add some more high frequencies back. There we go. And that's roughly how I made this kick drum sound. I mean, it doesn't sound perfect, but it sounds similar-ish, I think, hopefully, to this kick drum, which is the one I made during the sample challenge. Now that sounds like that. Actually, so you can see if I compare it with what I've got here, I think it's actually much shorter and sharper. It doesn't sound particularly impressive at the moment, but I've got these effects which I also added. So I just rolled off a little bit of the extreme low frequencies here. Then I added some more distortion, and I added some more distortion, yeah, and then this compressor, and that gave me this nice kick drum sound that you can hear in the project here. So I probably spent about half the sample challenge just perfecting that kick drum, because it can be quite tricky to get a kick drum from a word. But once I'd done that, I tried to find a good bass sound. Now, I haven't opened this project for a while, so I can't even remember exactly what I did here. But what I probably did, and I'm just going to take these effects off for a moment, what I probably did was take the exact same bit of the audio. Yeah, there we go. So I remember now, actually, yeah, I thought that whoa would work quite well, both as a kick drum and a bass. But of course, it doesn't really sound that much like a good bass, does it? So what I added was these different plugins or effects. Pretty much the same as the kick drum, got rid of the extreme low end, added this drum bus plugin, some more distortion in this overdrive plugin, yeah, got rid of some more low end, and that was basically my bass sound. Couple that with the kick drum, and that's the basic groove for this entire track. So let's maybe start from the beginning of this project, where the bass starts. And I've just shown you the automation view. You can hear that it starts kind of muffled and then gradually gets brighter and brighter. Versus that. And yeah, I love using automation to create sort of evolution within sounds, or timbres, to give them their technical term. So that was the starting point for the track. And I've also got this additional, I've called it tenor because it's like a low sound but not quite as low as bass. This little synth-like melody. And if my memory serves me correctly, again, I'm just going to take these effects off to show you the raw sound. I think what I did was I took a teeny tiny snippet of the sample. Yeah, literally, this is like a a hundredth of a second probably of that word no, and I'm just looping it, and maybe I can show you what it sounds like without any of this filtering. Yeah. So that's just a teeny tiny snippet of me saying the word no, but actually you can use any sound. And then I added a little bit of, again, filtering to make a slightly more bassy sound. There we go. And I thought that worked quite nicely over the top of my bass. So that's what's going on here. Let's just skip. So as you can see here, I had some really nice bassy sounds, and I wanted to add something with a little bit more ping, a little bit more high frequency to it. They're not quite hi-hats, are they? But they almost sound like hi-hats. And I think what I did was I took the T sound from limitation. Let me see if I'm correct. Yes, there we go. So you can see this is the word no. So I had some nice bassy sounds in that kick drum and bass, and I wanted to add some sounds with a bit more sparkle, a bit more high frequency. So I created some hi-hat-like sounds, and I'll just play them for you. These little groovy percussive sounds. And to create those, if my memory serves me correctly, I took the t sound from no limitation, or at least I did for this sound. Yes, indeed, there it is. So this is the word no limitation, and I found that T sound, and that worked quite well as a hi-hat. And you can see that I've done a very similar thing to the kick drum with this filter, adding a little bit of distortion, and then this plug-in erosion, which is just great for creating kind of dusty hi-hat-like sounds. And I basically cheated. I took that sound, I duplicated it and changed the settings a little bit to create these 4 or 5 different complementary copies, and then I just programmed some cool rhythms. Let's hear it in context. Next thing, I added a snare drum, and I love cheating, especially when you've only got 1 hour in a sample challenge. So basically what I did was I duplicated that kick drum, pitched it a little bit higher in pitch to make this snare drum. Probably added a shed more distortion. Yeah, you can see here this overdrive, more overdrive. I love distortion, especially for drum sounds, and that created, excuse me, there we go. And I also created this cymbal-like sound. It looks like I was taking the very end of that word there, limitation, and probably added yeah, a load of this erosion sound here. If I take that erosion plugin off, you hear it just adds a little bit more grit to create this kind of cymbal-like sound. So you heard that almost like a sitar-like sound that I created down here. Again, I happen to remember I also cheated with this sound. So let me just take these effects off and show you how I created that sound. I basically took the same teeny tiny fragment as this tenor synth-like timbre, and I basically added a slightly more plucky feel to it by, instead of sustaining that sound, I got the sound to die away in volume, or or release very, very quickly. And then I added some more distortion, added this compressor, added an amplifier, a speaker cabinet, and this spectral resonator. I didn't remember adding that. Sometimes you do things in the heat of the moment. Either way, that made this melody sound, and I'm going to play it from where the melody really starts. There we go. And then I duplicated that, changed some settings slightly to make this other complementary synth sound. And together they all sound like this. So, what's next? This additional bass sound. I'm not really going to take you through this because I basically cheated again. I copied this tenor synth and just created this slightly different bass timbre. Brought the percussion back in. And that was pretty much my entire hour, but I remember thinking, do I have time to create some quick chords? Which I did. I didn't have time to create a new synthesizer sound, so instead I just nicked this tenor melody that's been playing right throughout the track and duplicated that so we had 2 layers and played around by using my ear and clicking on the piano roll. In fact, I think I might have had my MIDI keyboard and I was just jamming to see if I could find chords that would work on the top. And I came up with something that sounded a little bit like this. And let's hear that in the context of the track. Again, I used automation to create a little bit of an outro. And that is how you make an entire track from 2 words. Thanks very much for watching.
Absolutely amazing stuff. Thank you so much, John. And I hope everyone's enjoyed that awesome masterclass there. Now, whilst you were watching that, I've switched over to Studio One here with our lovely SSL Duality desk. And it's time for us to move on to our Q&A. So I know loads of questions have come through in the chat room and it's time for us to get those answered. So let's get started. And we'll kick off with the first one here from Senna, who asks, so if one starts with the Cert HE, so that's the first year of our 3-year degree, can they later change it into a bachelor's degree? So absolutely that is possible. You can start off with the first year, and if you feel that that's enough for you, then you can just continue, not continue with the rest of the course, or if you do want to do the rest of the degree, then you can just continue with year 2 and year 3. So that's no problem whatsoever. If you do want to try it out before you get started, that's all good. Next up here, let's have a look. We've got a question here from Ronnie, who's joining us from Belgium. How you doing, Ronnie? Who wants to know, is access to the course notes for life, or is it for a limited time? So good question, Ronnie. It is for 2 years from the end date of your course that you would have access to all of the materials. But whilst you've got access, make notes, copy those materials, you can capture them so you can keep them for a bit longer, if you see what I mean. Hopefully that's helped. Next up, we got one here from It's Michaela, I think, or Mihaela, and they're asking, are the masterclasses and events, at least some of them, free when, let's have a look here, when you're a student? Absolutely. So all of our events, all our masterclasses are free events. So they're for students, they're for you to engage and get involved with. We do events online, so we just let you know about those and you can log on and you can watch those events live and kind of assist and ask questions. We also do a lot of events out at campus in London. So if anyone is a bit more local to us here in London, then you can also come down and check out those events in person as well. So yeah, this is all extra that, content that we offer as part of the course. Moving on from that, we've got another one from Mihaela here, which is who's in Bulgaria, I should add also, so welcome. Says, I saw with the diploma music production course, you get an Ableton Live license. Which version of Ableton does it include? So we'd like to work with Ableton Live Suite, so the full version. I think it's a 50% discount that you would get. But if you do have any questions about that, just get in touch, give us a call, and we can give you some more information. Next up, there's a question here from Mathieu. This is an interesting one, who wants to know, in addition to Ableton and Logic Pro, to what extent is the curriculum incorporating developments and concrete applications of AI, or even specific AI-driven applications? That's a really interesting question, Mathieu. Obviously, AI is kind of more and more in our lives on a day-to-day basis. And that's no exception for music as well. We're starting to see it incorporated in music production technology and software. We've already seen some developments with Logic Pro and Ableton in terms of AI integration. So with Logic, for instance, they have AI session players, which can be really handy if you're looking for accompaniments to the music that you're recording. They have AI generated effects, which can also be really useful to help kind of add warmth. There's great kind of developments in stem separation as well. Logic, in fact, have been kind of leaning quite heavily into AI development with the software. With Ableton, they're less kind of, there are fewer ideas, but we are starting to see some kind of like additions like searches for samples, so similarity type searches, which are AI powered. We're also seeing AI generated plugins as well that you can incorporate into your mixes. So yeah, lots of cool stuff. Our curriculums do get changed regularly. Obviously, the technology is always evolving and changing and moving, but AI still is in its infancy. And one of the things that we do try and focus on a lot as part of the courses is, to help you be creative as a musician, as a music producer, and not, necessarily rely on AI too much, but more on, understanding how to get your ideas out and to create the music that you can hear in your head. Hopefully that helps answer that question, Mathieu. Thank you for that one. It's really interesting. Just to remind everybody as well that we do have that discount. So it's on 20%, it's ON 20% sign for 20% off all of our short online courses. Also to remind everybody that we have a start date coming up this Monday, 14th of July. There's still places available for our courses, but that discount code can also apply to courses in the future. So maybe if you're looking at doing a course with us in October or next year in 2026, you can book now, still make that saving. So yeah, it's on 20% to make that saving. Next up, we got one here from Jet Black, who says, what DAWs do you use for sound design and composition for film and media? I primarily use Logic and have started to move towards Pro Tools as it seems to be the industry standard. So we work, Jet Black, with Logic or Ableton as kind of your main in-the-box DAW. We do some stuff with Pro Tools when it comes to working in our recording studios here in London, particularly when working with audio. That tends to be the industry standard in recording studio environments. But really kind of we're looking at Logic and Ableton as your main DAW. We try not to work with too many third-party plugins, software synthesizers, VSTs, just because we don't expect all of our students to have access to these. So we try and keep as much of what we do in the box, so Logic or Ableton. So if we're learning about sound design, for instance, if we're using, learning about frequency modulation, we're going to be using the synths that are native to Logic or Ableton so that everyone has access to the same equipment and software throughout the course. Hopefully that helps answer that question. We've got another one here from Kay, who says, am I able to take tutorials from other classes? Example, I'm studying production for sound engineering. I want to learn about composition and songwriting. So you can book one-on-one sessions if you're doing the degree, that is, with other lecturers. So it might be that you're doing it with a composition lecturer, and maybe you can ask them questions about songwriting as part of that one-on-one. So there is options to kind of like get a little bit of help in other subjects throughout the course. But ideally, it is going to be kind of focused towards the course that you're studying and the subjects that you're taking, so that you're in the best position to complete your coursework and assignments and make sure you get the best grades possible throughout the course. Next up here, we've got another question from Ronnie, who says, are the exact start dates and especially the day of the week known? Good question, Ronnie. For example, Ableton Live in Depth says starts October, 1 class per week. Is this a fixed day or evening? This is a question we get asked all the time, Ronnie. So the exact day that class will take place will get decided just before you start the course. It tends to take place midweek in the evenings, UK time, 7 p.m. till 9 p.m. So that's the masterclass. Once it's set, it's going to be the same time, the same day for the duration of the course. But we will only know nearer the time. It's down to the lecturer availability and also kind of the overall class and what they choose collectively as the best time for everybody. So we don't set these too far in advance. I hope you understand that. And hopefully, Ronnie, you're a little flexible on that side to study the course. Next up, we got one here from Tio. Tio says, do you teach FL Studio too, or is it just Logic or Ableton? Good question. It's another question we get asked a lot. We work, Tio, with Logic Pro and Ableton Live. Online, these are the only two DAWs that we focus on. Lots of our students, like yourself, have experience with FL Studio, and usually that experience is enough for them to transition to a new DAW very quickly. Making music on a computer and with music production software, it can be quite intuitive. Once you understand one software, those skills are easily transferable to another piece of software or DAW. So, you'll get familiar with the DAW, you'll be able to transition everything over and you'll be up and running in no time. Next up, let's check another question here from Mark. What is the difference between the complete diploma and the Cert HE? Good question. So our Cert HE, Mark, is basically an accredited higher education degree level course, which is equivalent to the first year of a full BA, three-year BA degree. Whereas the complete diploma is an unaccredited short course or professional course, as we call them, which doesn't offer you that same academic qualification that you would get with the Cert HE. So you wouldn't exit with a qualification at the end, a piece of paper that says that you've done this accredited course. The complete diploma, however, is a lot more comprehensive than our Cert HE. So there's 12 course subject modules that you're studying as opposed to 6 with the Cert HE. So there's more content that you're learning as a result of studying that course. Hopefully that helps. Any more questions, let us know. We've got one here from Yasir, who says, I'm a non-UK citizen residing in the UK. Will I be eligible for student loan funding for the 3-year online degree? Yasir, possibly. It might be best to actually give us a call, and then we can have a chat about that and find out a little bit more about your personal circumstances and whether or not you would qualify for a student loan. Just because you're not a UK resident doesn't mean that you might not be able to get student funding. So give us a shout, we're going to have a chat about it and help you figure that out. Next up here, we've got a question from Extreme 4, who says, I'm a multi-genre producer with a bachelor music degree. What would be your suggestion? Because I already have multiple releases with multiple labels. So that's a good question. So maybe for someone who's got a bit more experience, who wants to improve their production ability, maybe their sound, and learn some more advanced techniques. A really good one for someone who maybe is already at, you know, a more advanced level might be our mixing and mastering in-depth course. That's really going to be focusing on kind of like the post-production phases of music production, so looking at kind of enhancing the sonic qualities of the track or working on the final master. I don't know if maybe you're sending out your mixes to get mastered elsewhere, so maybe you could learn those skills so you can do it yourself. And then, you know, that also enables you to maybe start mastering other people's music as well, which could be a good extra revenue stream. Maybe you want to look at something like sound design or our in-depth sound design course. If you're looking to kind of really perfect your own sounds, that could be a good extra advanced course to do as well. Composing for media is a great course. If you're looking to kind of start finding work in multimedia, putting sound to picture, there's loads of work to be found in that particular kind of sector as well. So lots of different courses to consider there. Hopefully you can check those out. And if you have any questions, again, get in touch, give us a call. We've got time for a few more questions and we're going to wrap it up for today. We got one here from Christine who says, hi, could you talk about the main difference between the courses Logic Pro in-depth versus electronic music production in-depth? Looks like the first semester is the same. Curious about both. Yeah, so the first semester is the same. So the music production with Logic essentially is that initial module that you're going to be studying. And then with the Logic Pro in depth, there's a second module called Creative Audio, which is kind of a bit more about working with audio, recording audio, using microphones and capturing those sounds. Whereas the electronic music in-depth course is going to be looking at our creative production and remixing course. So we're going to be working a bit more in the box, kind of working, you know, at remixing tracks and kind of, you know, moving our productions onto the next level. So hopefully that gives you a bit more detail about those courses. Again, Christine, if that wasn't enough detail for you, get in touch with us and we can talk to you about that a little later on. Let me just see if I got any more questions here that I may have missed. Kay wants to know how many technical classes are there per week. So Kay, basically throughout the course you get one masterclass each week, which is a 2-hour session. If you're doing it as a full-time course, then you get 2 masterclasses each week. Plus you get these DVRs basically. So you get 2 DVRs per term or per module, and that's direct feedback from your teacher, helping you improve and you know, work throughout the curriculum. Cool. Well, listen, I think that's all of the questions for today. If I have missed any, apologies, but do get in touch with us and we're more than happy to help. Just give us a phone call, send us an email. Me and my team are here to answer any of your questions. Before I do let you go though, I just wanted to remind you about our discount code. So for attending today, and thanks for attending, hopefully you've enjoyed the open day, you can get 20% off our short online courses. That's not the HE ones or degrees, it's just the short courses. Use the code ON20%, ON20% sign, to make your saving. And that's to start with us on Monday, the 14th of July, on the 6th of October, or next year in 2026 as well. So take your pick, make your saving, and get started on your journey with Point Blank. But for now, all that's left for me to do is to thank you all for joining us from all over the world. It's been great to have you with us. Hopefully this online open day has given you all the information that you need about Point Blank and about our courses. It's been great sharing that with you. And yeah, my name's been Luke. I still am Luke, and I look forward to seeing you on an online Point Blank course in a very near future. Thank you very much. Take care and good night.